Today, I'm going to share some interesting and unexpected facts that no one has really talked about before. President Yoon Suk-yeol and Han Dong-hoon. Although they have found themselves on opposite sides, especially after the declaration of martial law, the two were once extremely close during their time as prosecutors. As soon as they entered the political arena, they gradually started to clash more and more. However, during their days as prosecutors, they shared a deep bond and an unshakable level of trust. Now they are walking completely opposite paths. But looking back, Han Dong-hoon was truly someone special to Yoon Suk-yeol. If we look at how Yoon Suk-yeol actively promoted Han Dong-hoon within the prosecution, it becomes crystal clear just how much he valued and trusted him. In 2003, Han Dong-hoon was appointed as a research officer in the Central Investigation Department of the Supreme Prosecutor's Office, where he had his first opportunity to work alongside Yoon Suk-yeol. Every time Yoon took charge of major investigations within the Central Investigation Department, he made sure Han was by his side, involving him directly in critical cases, particularly during cases like the Lotte Group slush fund scandal and the National Intelligence Service online manipulation scandal. While Yoon spearheaded the investigations, Han was the one executing the crucial on-the-ground tasks. When Yoon was promoted to the chief of the Seoul Central District Prosecutor's Office in 2017, one of his first decisions was to place Han Dong-hoon as the head of the Special Investigation Department. There were even murmurs within the prosecution, suggesting that Yoon was grooming Han as his successor.
윤 대통령과 굵직한 사건을 함께한 한 전 장관은 요직을 두루 거치며 엘리트 코스를 밟았습니다.
2016년 대형 비리를 수사하는 검찰총장 직속 국회범죄특별수사단 팀장이 됐다가 같은 해 국정농단 특검에 파견됐고 2017년엔 서울중앙지검 3차장으로 발탁됐습니다. 당시 서울중앙지검장이 윤석열 대통령이었습니다.
In 2020, Justice Minister Cho Mi-ae launched the so-called prosecutor-media collusion scandal in an attempt to neutralize the prosecution's power.
추미애 법무부 장관은 검언 유착 의혹으로 수사를 받고 있는 한동훈 검사장에 대해 수사가 끝나면 감찰하겠다고 밝혔습니다.
우려하고 있고 지금까지는 지켜보았는데 더 이상 지켜보기 어렵다면 저도 결단할 때 결단하겠습니다.
At the time, both Minjung and the media aggressively branding it as Han Dong-hoon's gate, turning him into a major political target. However, at that critical moment, Yoon Suk-yeol personally stepped forward to defend him. He firmly opposed Cho Mi-ae's disciplinary action, declaring outright, "There's no way Han Dong-hoon would have done such a thing." In the end, even the courts could not find any substantial evidence against Han, and the investigation fizzled out into nothing.
서울중앙지검은 한 검사장에 대해 최종 무혐의 처분을 내리기로 했습니다. 수사팀 설명과 토론을 거친 끝에 회의 참석자 대다수가 무혐의 처분을 통한 신속한 결론에 공감했다는 게 중앙지검 설명입니다.
When Yoon Suk-yeol became president in 2022, all eyes were on how he would handle appointments within the prosecution. People were eager to see what kind of leadership he would establish in the judicial system. The biggest question lingering in everyone's mind was simple. How will Yoon place Han Dong-hoon in his administration? Would he continue to groom him as his successor, or would he give him an entirely new role? Without hesitation, as soon as Yoon took office, he appointed Han Dong-hoon as the Minister of Justice.
검언 유착 의혹에도 연루되며 수모를 겪던 한 전 장관은 윤 대통령이 당선되면서 법무부 장관으로 화려하게 복귀합니다.
업무 행정의 현대화 그리고 글로벌 스탠다드에 부합하는 사법 시스템을 정립하는 데 적임자라고 판단했습니다. 절대 파격 인사는 아니라고 생각합니다.
국민이 원하는 진짜 검찰개혁, 진짜 형사사법 시스템의 개혁은 사회적 강자에 대해서도 엄정하게 수사할 수 있는 공정한 시스템을 만드는 겁니다. 대한민국은 그럴 수 있는 나라여야만 합니다.
It was a decision that solidified just how much trust and faith he had in Han's abilities. This clearly shows how much Yoon valued Han, yet Han chose to betray him. But this was not just any betrayal. It was a calculated move. Han did not want to remain in Yoon's shadow as his successor. Instead, he wanted to seize power for himself and take the throne. Han was widely recognized as the next generation leader of conservatives. However, to cement his political position as quickly as possible, he had to make a bold choice. Behind that choice was a deep psychological drive that fueled his ambition. If he had remained loyal as Yoon's political heir, he would have had to wait at least 5 years before stepping into the presidential race. However, Han wanted to move at his own pace. He didn't want to follow a script written by someone else. He wanted to be the author of his own political story. In short, he wanted to go beyond wielding power as a prosecutor. He wanted to take full control of political power himself. If we look at Han's past remarks, he has always been cautious about absolute hierarchical relationships. He resisted the idea of being permanently subordinate to anyone. He frequently said the message, "I don't belong to anyone." This was his way of distancing himself from Yoon and preparing for his independent political future. Rather than being labeled as Yoon's successor, he wanted to establish himself as the central figure of a new conservative movement, shaping the party and its future direction in his own image. But that very ambition became the reason for his downfall.
22대 총선을 넉 달 앞둔 1년 전 이맘때 윤석열의 황태자란 수식어로 등판한 정치인 한동훈의 일성에는 대통령이 있었습니다.
비록 소수당이지만 대선에서 기적적으로 승리해서 대통령을 보유한 정부 여당입니다.
하지만 한 달 만에 김건희 여사 문제로 대통령의 사퇴 요구 논란이 벌어졌고 윤한 갈등이란 분레가 시작됐습니다.
His desire to carve out his own legacy led him to make reckless decisions, ultimately destroying the foundation that had been built for him. As time went on, the political paths of Han and Yoon diverged more and more, leading to an inevitable conflict, and in the end, Han lost everything. And his support base crumbled, and he found himself increasingly isolated. The road to presidency had already been paid for him by Yoon Suk-yeol. But rather than walking that path, Han chose to destroy it with his own hands.
정치인 한동훈과 그 길을 열어줬던 대통령은 결국 대표직 사퇴와 탄핵이란 결론을 함께 맞이했습니다.
최고위원들의 사퇴로 최고위가 붕괴되어 더 이상 당 대표로서의 정상적인 임무 수행이 불가능해졌습니다.
한 대표는 탄핵이 아닌 더 나은 길을 찾아보려 노력했지만 그러지 못했다며 자신이 부족했다고 말했습니다.
Had he remained loyal and stayed by Yoon's side, he wouldn't be seen as a traitor today. Instead, he would have had secured his position as a leading candidate for the next presidential election. But Han revealed his true nature. His ambition outgrew his capacity, and his choices reflected the limits of his character. Blinded by his political aspirations, he betrayed the very person who nurtured and elevated him. And now, as a result of that choice, he finds himself abandoned by both the public and the prosecution. Had Han remained loyal, he would have been recognized as Yoon's undeniable political heir, securing a bright and stable political future for himself. However, in his obsession with immediate power, he lost sight of what was truly important. His impatience led him to destroy what could have been a long-term path to success. In the end, Han Dong-hoon will be remembered as nothing more than an ungrateful traitor. His failure to become president is not a twist of fate. It is a direct consequence of his own choices.